Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Radio Tokyo Wednesday midweek update. It is June 24th, 2015, and I, of course, am your host, Jonathan. Now, on last week's show, we got, myself especially, we got pretty intense with the topic we were talking about, and we closed, with making a few jokes about liking Dora the Explorer and what you should go do. I want to um, address that for a moment. Uh, First off, excuse me. We were messing around, generally messing around. It was to have, it was to be silly. If anyone, took us as being genuine, I am sincerely very sorry about that. Um, Now was really not the time to be making jokes about killing people and so on, because of the terrible events that took place in Charleston last week. Um, I'm not going to get into, I'm not going to get in depth about it, because um, I would rather, the show stay focused on happier things. But just suffice to say, that myself, Nick, and Danny, we are very, very much moved by what happened. And our thoughts and prayers are with the people of Charleston and everywhere else who has ever had to deal with some madman uh, deciding he wanted to kill somebody. It's really a world where we wish that we had actual superheroes, I guess. But anyway, um, the first thing I want to discuss is Jurassic World. My goodness, I finally went and saw it over the weekend, and I have to say it is fantastic. I actually would like to go back and see it several more times. Um, it was released, as everyone knows, on June 12th, and thus far it has made $1 billion. $1 billion, not million, billion with the B. It is the um, third highest grossing film of 2015, and it is the 21st highest grossing film of all time. That's pretty amazing, and I think it says an awful lot about what kind of movie it actually is. Now, excuse me, it may be because, this is a nostalgia thing for a lot of people. For me, it certainly is. The only spoiler I'm going to give is that the original Jurassic Park theme does actually show up in the movie multiple times, and it's beautiful. I love it. Um, but yeah, like a portion of it maybe because it's nostalgia. The rest of it is because people may like Chris Pratt. He was fantastic in Guardians of the Galaxy, and if you ever watched Parks and Recreation, he was quite good in there. Most people, who initially watched his character didn't really like him, but he was so uh, well liked by the people on the show that they decided to make his character Andy Dwyer a permanent character, and thus Chris Pratt, you know, came into our world. Um, he's a really good actor, and if you get a chance to go see Jurassic World, you need to go see it. Um, but since we don't have Chris Pratt as an actual superhero, perhaps everyone would like Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. No, seriously, I'm serious. There was two very large announcements yesterday. Excuse me again. Um, Two new Spider-Mans. Two, not one, not two. The first one I'm going to get to is going to be the comics, because that's where Spider-Man comes from, as most everyone knows. Um, this is heavily spoilered, and I apologize. So just be aware of what I'm about to say. If you don't want to listen, I will put an annotation in there that tells you when to skip to. Um, Here we go. Peter Parker will be killed off. He will die in Ultimate Spider-Man number 160, uh, which is coming out, I believe, next month. I'm not exactly sure. I have to check. He will be replaced by Miles Morales, who, as a lot of people know, is an alternate universe version of Spider-Man. However, he will now become the new official Spider-Man. He will appear as Spider-Man in Ultimate Fallout number 4, and in September he will officially replace Spider-Man when the Ultimate Spider-Man series gets a restart. So it'll be Ultimate Spider-Man number 1 coming out in September. The details of Peter Parker's death are not known, but at this time, it's safe to say that Peter Parker will stay dead. Excuse me, since this is the normal reality and not some alternate reality. But anyway, on to the other Spider-Man. Tom Holland um, is going to be portraying. Uh, I'm going to feel pretty safe here saying Peter Parker. He will be having a cameo in the upcoming Captain America Civil War, and he will have his own brand new Spider-Man movie, which is coming out, I believe, July 28th of 2017. So about 2 years from now, we'll have an actual Spider-Man movie by himself. And Civil War should be coming out, I believe, next year or somewhere around that point in time. Excuse me again. So Spider-Man will be doing a cameo with the Avengers, or at least Captain America. And that's really cool because a lot of people have wanted that for a very, very long time now. And, with the Avengers movie, everyone was concerned, this is in New York. Where's Spider-Man? And the Sony movies were supposedly going to tie into that, but they did not. So the events that was going on in those movies that was done, the Sony version of Spider-Man, Spider-Man was dealing with Kurt Connors and everything else at the time of the Avengers movie, but he never actually showed up. So this time he will be showing up as a Marvel-owned entity, Marvel Studios-owned rather, and he will be in Captain America: Civil War just as a cameo in his own movie. I'm kind of excited. Hopefully, this will be a pre-existing version of Spider-Man, and we will not have to have his origin story again. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Anyway, last up this week, I want to discuss patch 6.2 for World of Warcraft. It came out yesterday. I'm sorry. Um, I've seen some fairly mixed reactions on this patch, but everything seems to be uh, pretty positive so far. Tenon Jungle is not something that you can walk into and kill everything there by looking at it. It's actually a pretty dangerously designed zone. It actually makes the world content feel threatening. Um, that's something that I've noticed a lot of people have said. There are mobs there that will very happily kill you and walk all over you and everything. And it's nice. There are enough pitfalls in the world, literal pitfalls, where you can just fall to your death. I discovered one yesterday. As it turns out, it's actually part of a garrison campaign mission, but it goes down into the cave where the Bleeding Hollow orc chieftains have traditionally gone and pulled out their eye. Spoilers for those of you who haven't gotten that portion yet. But yes, I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying the new pet battles. They're actually a lot harder than what they appeared to be on the beta for the expansion. I mean, sorry, the patch. Uh, the 15 tiny terrors of Tenon Jungle are actually really difficult. The pet team that I was going to use them with, I am finding is being beaten over and over and over. Um, it's fantastic. Uh, I actually got into a group yesterday for Supreme Lord Kazak. Now, I'm sorry, but he does not have the original voice that he used to have. I mean, when he was in Blasted Lands, and then Hellfire Peninsula. He has a new voice actor. It's fine. It's just not as threatening as it was, and his yells are not, a zone wide emote like they were in Burning Crusade, which is always a very fond memory of me. For me, you zone in, and he spawns, and he does, the I remember the Sting defeat at the end of the Second War, and he rambles on, and whenever you attack him, he would say, "All mortals must perish," in that loud, booming voice. He doesn't do that. It's pretty sad he doesn't. So Blizzard, maybe reconsider, but no. Anyway, the only letdown for me, honestly, and I really feel bad calling it a letdown, is actually the introduction to Tenon, the invasion of Tenon questline that starts in your garrison unit, the one where you go build your shipyard and everything, and actually go to Tenon it's a little bit of a letdown. Um, as it turns out, what happens is when you go to Tenon, uh, NPCs have already been there ahead of you. Uh, Vindicator Maraud has not. I'm sorry, not Maraud. Excuse me. Exarch Maladar has already gone ahead and gone in through the gate that was in Talador, and your forces are already there at the docks just outside. Well, actually, the docks that you left when you first went to Draenor. When you first walked the dark portal, and you do all the quest lines there where you destroy it. You go back to those docks, and there are NPCs already there. Um, and they've already gone ahead and are establishing your base for you. It's a little bit of a letdown because I would like to see an invasion actually be an invasion. I would prefer to see, my followers and, a bunch of garrison soldiers come with me. Not unlike what you saw at the end of the garrison campaign, where you go to the gate that's actually in Talador, and, you know, it's like knocking on the Iron Horde's door. You have a massive army behind you, and you're taking on all these Iron Horde soldiers. You even take down a raid boss. That would be cool. But no, you get to this area where where your soldiers have already gone. So they've already infiltrated for you, which is it's kind of okay. It makes sense in a ways, but it's just a little bit of a letdown to me personally. Excuse me again. Other than that, I really enjoy it. I managed to get into a group for farming Cyberstalkers rep. This morning I am honored, I want to say. Honored, I think. I have not been doing most of the dailies, which I need to do because they actually are kind of difficult. They're uh, pretty difficult to solo, at least for right now, because there's a lot of people, who are there running around. But uh, I did manage to get several new pieces of gear. I got one off of Kazakh, and I've got several drops. It's fun. It's entertaining. I'm really enjoying it. And there's a lot of people who have actually been back, or that I know who have come back specifically for 6.2, just because they wanted to see this new zone. So Blizzard, for their upcoming quarter, may have some better results. We can always hope. Anyway, I think it's going to be it today. Uh, and if I don't stop myself, I'm going to keep rambling, of course. But that's going to be it for today, I think. Saturday show is coming up really, really soon. I'll be there. Danny will be there. We'll have a lot of cool stuff going on. And I promise, once I get all of my garrison stuff set underway on my characters that I'm going to be working on right now, I will get back to doing the walkthroughs. Uh, we're going to work on having some more Hearthstone stuff on the channel, and it's going to be. Speaking of Hearthstone, by the way, there is a weekly thing going on. It's every 4 days or so. It's a brawl type event, and I recorded it the other day. This week, today, it actually changed. You're playing against another player, and I'm going to record this later at some point in time this week before it's over with. but you are playing against another player, and you have to make up a special deck. I'm not going to play what the rules are just yet, but it's pretty interesting. Anyway, Saturday show coming up. That's really it I have to talk about right now. Thank you for watching. Please remember to uh, be here for our Saturday show and check back for all of the videos that will be coming up here soon. What do you guys think about the new Spider-Man or Jurassic World or anything else I talked about? Let me know. So please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to all of you later. Have a great day.